Yo, wealth building 101, man. If you are working hard for every dollar you get, that's a sign that you're financially illiterate, my friend. Just a man in his thoughts, man, brainstorming and actually doing a little work today, building a capture page. And I thought I'd holler at y'all real quick. Let me know who's tuning in. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Speaking of brand, let me throw some branding on this mug. Let's see what we got. Uh, Bang, there we go. There we go. It's Cortez Hustle in the building. So do you agree or disagree? If you work hard for every dollar you make, is that a sign that you're financially illiterate? So I'm just doing a little work here in the office, man, building a new capture page for my website, about to set up some advertising and stuff. I want to make sure that I can get my tracking all together. How you guys doing on this Saturday evening, man? What's on your mind? What's popping? What's happening? What's cracking? As we say here in the Lou. Who do you have tuning in, man? Rep your brand, man. Rep your city. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also drop the name of your business and or your brand if you're already in entrepreneurship. If you're already an entrepreneur or in business for yourself. I just wanted to talk to you guys about a couple things. If you have not already registered for tomorrow's webinar, where I'm going to be showing you how to get double-digit returns on your money, I'm going to be showing you how to get increase your cash flow instantly by $300 to $600 a month. I'm going to be talking about terminology and perspective as well. You need to be in the Wealth Creation Playbook group, though, on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull up Facebook on my computer, see if I can put this in the comments. I think I should be able to do that. But yeah, you have to go over to Wealth Creation Playbook on Facebook. And I have it in the announcements. And once you click to join the group, I'll let you in the group. You'll see one of the first announcements you'll see is the link to register for that webinar. A lot of people think it's far-fetched to get double-digit returns on your money, but it's not, man. And when I show you how and where to look, and the fact that you're going to be able to start, matter of fact, my goal is to have 10 people actually set up their account on the spot while we're on the webinar so that they can give me a testimony of how simple it is to set up. You connect your bank accounts, man. It is one of the biggest financial institutions in the world. In fact, this company handles almost all the 401k plans for all the major companies, right? And I'm going to show you guys how to go in there and look at some of the funds that they have and really how to get double-digit returns on their investments. But the reason I say, if you, my friend, is working hard for every dollar you get, that's a sign that you're financially illiterate, because you're not supposed to work hard for every dime you get. Now, for those of you who do not know me, my name is H. Cortez, financial health mentor. I have a track record of talking about money and sharing strategies on business, branding, marketing, wealth building tips and strategies, tax minimization, debt elimination, and credit. It's kind of, what this page is all about, dedicated to helping the average everyday working American understand the rules of the wealthy. Now, if you choose not to play, if you choose not to participate, then shame on you. But you can't watch any of the videos on this page, any of the content on this page, and say that you don't have a game plan and say that you don't know what you could do or you should do to build generational wealth. And in fact, I think that's why some people hop on and they hop off right quick, like, oh, he's giving up a strategy. If I listen, then I have to take responsibility for what it is that I learned. So who do we have hanging out with us today? You guys got any questions? on money and wealth. I am actually doing some work, man. I'm building out a capture page for my perfectmoneyplan.com site. And I'm excited, man, about growing that thing. I've been getting some great feedback on the 8-minute video that really breaks down how the average, everyday, hardworking person can get rich with the money they make on their job right now. How many of you guys believe that? How many of you guys believe that even though you might be going to a job that you don't particularly like, even though your job might not be paying you a ton of money, you guys believe that there's a way that you can leverage the money you have right now and build generational wealth with it? I mean, if you think about it, if a person was making $10 an hour, even at $10 an hour, I don't know why I did that, man. I can't never get this thing to work with me. Even at $10 an hour, a person will see $1 million in their lifetime. The question is, what do they do with it, right? We often hear it said it ain't about what you make, it's about what you keep. Well, we need to add to that, because it's not only about what you make and what you keep, it's also about what you do with what you keep. That is critically important. If I paid you $1,000 a week, that's $4,000 per month, and you built your lifestyle up to where it's costing you $4,000 per month to live, then guess what? It's not about what you make. It's not about what you keep, because what you did with what you kept was you paid for an expensive lifestyle, right? But I can get another person the same $4,000 per month. They're taking $2,000 a month to live on. They're taking $1,000 a month to invest, and then the other $1,000 a month they're socking away into their emergency fund. Is it about what they make, what they keep, or is it more importantly about what you do with what you keep? That's why I'm doing the webinar tomorrow, man. So if you're not in the Wealth Creation Playbook group, you want to go join that group. And right at one of the first announcements you'll see, once I approve you in that group, you'll see the link for you to register for the webinar tomorrow. But I want to pull up my financial calculator, and I just want you guys to see something, right? What is the, if we had to say, and I want y'all to participate with me on this one, if it really came down to you building wealth for your family, give me a dollar amount that you would be willing to invest on a monthly basis for the next 20 years. Right? If we know that putting our money to work is something that we should be doing, how much, if you really disciplined yourself, you really focus on building generational wealth, you really love your children the way you say you do. I want y'all to think about this. You really love your children, right? Some people say, man, I'll die for my kids, but you won't build generational wealth for them. Come on, let's be honest. You will die for your kids, but you won't live without cable for a year so you can take that $150 and snowball some debt down. You'll die for your kids, but instead of buying them the latest name brand everything, you took that money and instead you bought stock in the company of the product that they wanted so bad. So if they like Jordans, instead of buying them Jordans, you say, you know what? Every time it's time for you to get a new pair of Jordans, I'm going to take this 120, 150, 130, 200, whatever they cost, and I'm going to buy you a share. I'm going to invest in a Nike for you. Now, when you want to buy Jordans on your own, you can do that with your own money, right? But when you want a pair of Jordans from your pops, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to buy you some stock in Nike, right? People say all the time, man, I'll die for my kids. right? You'll die for them, but you won't take the time to learn how to build wealth. You won't take and invest a $15 in a book on how to grow your money, right? So how much, if you had to pick a dollar amount and say, Cortez, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I've been BSing. I've been BSing. I've been listening to you for a while, and I know good and well that I should have been putting up $100 a month. Some of you guys make so much good money on your job that you can actually afford to put away $300, $500, $700 per month. If we had to commit right now, if you said, if your life was on the line and the only way that you could live for the next 40 years is you had to commit, come hell or high water, I'm going to invest this amount of money every single month. What is that dollar amount for you? I'm going to run some numbers real quick. Right? I'll give an example. In my home-based business, one of the bonuses that I get is a $500 car bonus. It actually just grew to $1,250, but I'm going to take $500 of that car bonus every single month, and I'm going to put that into my investment account. Now, for me, I'm thinking private reserve account. I'm thinking infinite banking, saving through life insurance because I can still access the money versus some of these other vehicles, right? But if you guys come to the webinar tomorrow night, where we're going to be talking about double-digit returns, I'm going to show you where to get double-digit returns, right? And let's just say you attended the webinar, you got excited, and you saw exactly how your money can double over time, and you committed to scaling your lifestyle down, and you committed to investing $500 per month at 15% rate of return. I'm going to show you guys what that will do for you in 10 years. And then we're going to stretch it out over a couple generations, right? Because I want you to see that building generational wealth can be done, at least the foundation can be laid in a single generation, right? Let's see, Jamal. I'm sorry, man. When I'm on my phone with the StreamYard, I've got a screen protector on my phone that really don't like my thumb, right? So let's see if I can bring your comment up so I can see it. It says, definitely agree, financial illiteracy is a major issue. Man, talk about it, brother. Talk about it. Now I can't get your comment off. All right, so I've got my calculator here, and you guys can't see this. I'm sorry, but just trust me when I tell you that if you committed to $500 per month for 10 years, and you were getting 15% rate of return, I'm going to show you how you can lay the foundation for generational wealth in a short period of time, man. Because we say all the time, man, life is short. It is short, but it's also surprisingly long too, right? I was just sharing with my son today, who is 19 today. It's his birthday. I remember being in the hospital with him when he was born. Of course, today is 9/12. Well, he was born in 2001, so we were actually in the hospital delivery room right after 9/11, right? Right after 9/11. And man, he was the fifth born of my 5 sons, so he's the baby boy. And I just remember, you know, the day before the towers had come down, and all we was doing just watching propaganda on the news about these towers and all that good stuff, man. And it was something, man. But I was just sharing with him that he's 19 years old, black man, 19 years old. You've already beaten the odds because you've never been to jail. You're still alive, right? Now the question is, what are you going to do with your life, and what are you going to make of your life? Michi says, how? Why 10 years? Because I just want to illustrate a point that we don't have to sacrifice forever to build generational wealth. If we would just take a few years of tough sacrifice, right? Eat beans and hot dogs for 10 years for your children and your grandchildren. Who could do that? Who would be willing to do that, right? So we said $500 per month. Rate of return is 15%. And we're going to do that for 10 years. Who could guess how much that will grow to in 10 years? Can anybody guess? $500 per month, 15% rate of return annually for 10 years. I want you to understand, man, that it don't take forever, but it does take sacrifice. And the more you're willing to sacrifice on the front end, the best thing that you have on your side when it comes to investing money is time. The earlier you get started and the more you can put in when you get started, man, the eighth wonder of the world known as compound interest will work wonders. Gigi said, in total agreement. Let's see. Can't get much interest these days, but still investments is worth it. Gigi, my friend, what do you mean you can't get much interest? You need to go over to Wealth Creation Playbook Group right now. I'll put the link in the comments. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to show you where you can get double-digit returns right now, even when the market is slumping, guys. That's a trick of the devil, Gigi. Double-digit returns, are you kidding me? They want you to believe that building wealth is intimidating. They want you to believe that investing is complicated. No, the hardest thing about investing is you making the sacrifice. Watch this, y'all. Y'all got a minute to hang out with me. Let's do 3 generations. We're building wealth for 3 generations. I should do because I've been searching. Listen, I'm going to show you tomorrow night, man. You just got to show up. You got to go join the group first. And then when you're in the group, you'll see one of the announcements says the date has been set, double-digit return webinar, Sunday, September 13th. You click on the link and you register. So $500 per month, 15% rate of return will, in 10 years' time, will grow to $137,608.53. Right? So let's if we're doing this over generations, right? I want y'all to see when I say life is short but incredibly long at the same time, I plan to be here for 10 years. Now, I don't know what the good Lord has in store for me. That's something different, right? But I'm planning to be here for a few years. I'm 46 years old, right? So that means in 10 years, if I just did this, in 10 years, I would have $137,608. Let me write that down, because then we're going to take it out to the next generation. 137,608.53. Now, in 10 years, I'll be 56, right? So still building my business. I don't think I would have a need to grab and touch that money. The plan here is generational wealth. So if I go back to my other calculator, and I'm going to show you what happens if 10 years is over with. I said, listen, my sons, I'm going to sit them down in a room and say, I love you, but I've been sacrificing for the last 10 years to put away $500 per month so that y'all can have some kind of retirement. And you know what they're going to say? Appreciate that, Pops. But after 10 years, I'm tired. I'm going to take my $500 per month now and me and my wife are gonna go travel the world and chill out and just have a good time. If she wants to go shopping and spend the whole fight, whatever, right? We're just gonna do this for 10 years, but in 10 years' time, we've accumulated $137,608.53. And yes, I want my 53 cents because I know the power of compound interest. 53 cents can turn to $5.30, can turn into $50.30, right? So what will happen if after 10 years, I say, man, I'm done, but I'm not investing another dime for the rest of my life? That $137,608.53 at the same 15% rate of return. Now, at that point, I'm 56 years old. Now, I done told my wife I'm planning to live another 75, 80 years, so that's going to put me well over 100. But let's just do 20 years, right? So, in 20 years from that point, I'll be 76 years old. So we're going to do 20 years. Can anybody guess how much $137,000 at 15% rate of return grows to in 20 years? I want y'all to see something, man, because if we can get this in our kids at an early age, if we can start thinking about this for ourselves, a lot of us or my age and we're thinking it's too late. It's like, man, I might as well just let them fend for themselves. It's too late for me to start investing. Listen, that $137,000 in 20 years turns into $2,713,009.63. They want you to believe that building wealth is complicated. Guys, that's 30 years. That's 30 years. Listen to me. That's 30 years. And a lot of you saying, well, Cortez, I don't have $500 a month to invest, but you get a $6,000 tax refund every year. It's the same thing. If you took that $6,000 tax refund, come hell or high water, invested it at 15% every year, you can do this very same thing. If you just did it for 10 years, right? Before the kids age out and you stop getting earned income credit and all that stuff, you just took that refund every year and you invested it. 15% rate of return. The first 10 years, you're going to earn $137,608. Now the kids are grown, you doing your thing, you let the nest egg keep growing, 20 more years, $2,713,000. Guys, that's 30 years. That's just one generation, right? I kicked it off because I sacrificed for 10 years and I scraped together $500 every month for 10 years straight. And then I ran out of gas, but I let that money keep growing. See, what happens when we teach our kids when they're 19 how to do this? And from 19 to 31 or from 19 to 29, they do this. And then from 29 to 59, the money just keeps growing. And at 59, they got a couple $1 million. Right? Hang with me. Y'all ain't talking today, man. Y'all taking notes? I don't know, man. Where my favorite commenters at today? Right? I'm trying to see if I can. This thing is distracting me. There we go. Right? Now, let's take it one step further. And here's what I'm thinking about. And this could change, but this is what I'm thinking about. So 2,700,000. So if I cut that in half, then what is that? 1,350,000, right? So you might be saying, well, Cortez, why would you cut it in half? Because the book I read tells me that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Didn't say nothing about his children. Says, I have to leave an inheritance for my grandbabies. So what I'm willing to do for my sons, because I love y'all, I'm going to let y'all take half of what has been accumulated, and I'm going to split that amongst y'all. So 1.35 million goes to my sons, right? And they split that 5 ways. But then I take the other 1,350,000 and I let that keep growing in a trust for my grandchildren. And let's just say we did that for 25 years, because my grandchildren are a little younger. I might have it written down in my trust that they can't get to this money until they're 40 years old. So the youngest grandchild makes 40, right? So that guarantees that this money is going to grow for at least another 25 years. Let's count up the years, though. It took us 10 years to get the nest egg going, right? And then I ran out of gas. I ain't feel like investing no more. Then 20 years after that, I'm 76 years old. I take half of the money, because at that point, the 137 has grown to 2.7 million. Now, so that's 10 years plus 20, that's 30 years. I'm 76. Say, listen, man, I want y'all to enjoy some of this money. I want to see how y'all gonna spend it, how y'all gonna invest it, what y'all gonna do with it. I'm giving half to y'all now, but I'm putting the other half in a trust so that grandchildren will have something when they grow older. So $1,350,000, 15% rate of return for another 25 years will grow to $56 million. Wait a minute, we're talking 10, 20 is 30, plus 25 is 55 years. You can go from zero net worth today in 50 years, that's $56,084,562.25. But we got to be willing to sacrifice. We got to stop thinking that, and do me a favor, man, hit the share button. If you guys are getting value from this, we can no longer afford to hoard information, man. That's why I share so much stuff with y'all, because it's like, I can't hoard this information. Somebody needs to be blessed with this. So hit that share button. So in 2 generations, if a generation is 25 years, we took some investment capital and we got something started. And inside 55 years, we grew to $56 million. And here's what you got to remember, y'all. We ain't put a single dime in this investment since year 10. How much would it grow to if we are continuing to add money to this investment pot? If my children said, nah, Pop, we good, we got our money, we built our businesses like you taught us, so we don't need that money. Let all of it stay in there for the grandchildren. For kicks and giggles, what if we invested the whole $2,713,009? Now we're talking about $112,709,571. So if I die before the 10 years, what happens to 5 years that I have already invested? All right, let's play with that. Let's play with that. So when you set up your investment account, you have to name a beneficiary. Whenever you set up any investment account, you have to name a beneficiary. So you could name your youngest child as the beneficiary to give it the longest amount of time to grow. You could name your spouse, but if you died in the 10 years, so let's just say Michi says, let's go back to the other calculator, right? Michi says, man, I got this thing going and I was investing my $500 per month. I was on Cortez's webinar. He showed me where to get 15% rate of return on my money. I did my own research. I talked to my financial professional because Cortez ain't licensed to give me that kind of advice, but he just showed me where to go, right? And I was able to do that for 5 years, right? So in 5 years, that $500 a month turns into $44,287, right? Now, Michi had was not thinking about leaving this earth in 5 years. But because whenever you set up an investment account, you will have to name a beneficiary. I don't know if you got children or not, but name the beneficiary. And they didn't need the money. When he passed, they had life insurance, so they were good to go. So the 44,287 just kept growing. How long would you like for that 44,000 to keep growing? Let's see, 44,287. We still getting 15% rate of return. Let's say that money got left to a kid, and that kid is 5 years old. And in your will, in your trust, you said, my child cannot get access to the money from this fund until they are 35 years old. And I like that idea because if you let me have it when I'm 18, I'm not mature enough. Chances are I ain't do no financial literacy stuff when I was 18. But by the time I'm 30, I done gone through some stuff. And I probably know what it is that I want to do if I ever get my hands on a lump sum of money, right? So 5 to 35, that's 30 years. That $44,287 over 35 years will grow to $3,876,000. See, we just got to get started, y'all. We got to get started, right? I did this scenario with another live stream that I did. But what if when your child was born and your best friend said, I'm going to throw you a baby shower. You said, no, don't throw no baby shower. Instead of throwing a baby shower, let's figure out what you're willing to spend on this baby shower. And they say, well, oh, you got to get the balloons, you got to get the games, you got to get the food, you got to rent a venue, got to send out announcements or invitations. So yeah, I will probably spend about $1,000 on this baby shower for you. I'll say, great. Instead of a baby shower, I want you to just give me the $1,000. I'm going to put it in an investment account for the baby before it even gets here. Okay, I can do that. Hey, I need you to do one more thing. I still need you to send invitations out to everybody that you were going to invite to the baby shower. But instead of them bringing me a gift, I need you to put this note in there and explain that we're going to buy our own diapers, we're going to buy our own stroller, we're going to buy our own stuff. So instead of buying us stuff, just send us the cash. No gift cards, none of that. We need the cash so we can put it into the investment account for the baby. So the best friend who was going to throw it had $1,000, and say she collected another $4,000 from everybody else who were going to bring a gift, but instead they just bought you $50 here, $100 there. That was another $4,000. And you start the fund for this baby, right? You start the fund for this baby. Now, you collected $5,000 from those folks, but then you had your own $5,000 that you were going to put into an account for the baby. and you start that investment with $10,000. Let's just see what that would do for your baby, right? Let's just see, $10,000. See, are you guys getting any value from this? Because sometimes the reason we're not investing is because we don't know this stuff. If I had known when I was 15, 16 years old, that if I invested $500 a month, it would grow to over $2 million. Well, if I'm investing $500 per month continuously, it grows to way more than $2 million. But from the time I'm 16 to the time I'm 26, if I just invested $500 a month, it grows to $137,000. I let that grow to the time I'm 46, and I got $2 million. See, a lot of times we just don't know this stuff. That's why we don't make the sacrifice. 10,000, 15% rate of return for 18 years, all because you took the baby shower money and you invested in, instead of investing in a bunch of stuff that the baby gonna grow out of, you took the baby shower money, you put that in an investment account, 15% rate of return. Your child at 18 years old has $146,327. And that is if you don't put a single dollar in that investment account outside the initial 10,000. Does this make you hungrier now to want to invest? Are you getting a clearer picture of why now is the time, right? They say the best time to plant an apple tree is 25 years ago. The second best time is today. Don't look at what you didn't do 25, 30 years ago. What can you start with today? You can start by going over to the Wealth Creation Playbook group and joining that group, clicking on the link to register for the webinar tomorrow. And I'm going to show you guys how to look for these investments with high return. Yes, we're going to talk all about money tomorrow night on the webinar. All you got to do is show up, man. And when I show y'all this, it's going to be, it's going to blow you away that this information has been kept from you. But it's so simple, Gigi. It is so very simple. I've got my sons involved, and they're learning, putting a few dollars here, putting a few dollars there. They're learning entrepreneurship, toying around with businesses, social media, all kind of stuff, man. We building over here, man. We are building. Any questions? Any questions? That money can grow really fast. So you put 10,000 away for the baby. By the time the baby's 18, that's almost $150,000 for the baby. Where's the link for the webinar? If you go, you have to join the Wealth Creation Playbook group, Michi, because that is, I told them that I would do it exclusively for them. So if you join that group, then the link to join is right there. And I posted that link above. Let me post it again. Yeah, I dropped the link here. So just click here and ask to join the group. And once I'm done, I'll approve everybody who joined, and you'll see the announcement. It says, just click there, and it will take you to register for that event, man. Henry B, what's up, coach? That's it, man. That's it. If more people were tuned into this, and this is why y'all got to share, because if more people saw this, most of us don't believe that the sacrifice is worth it. So we don't make the sacrifice. Most of us do not believe that the sacrifice is worth it. So we never make the sacrifice, right? And then the other thing that you're going to have to deal with, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday as well. The other thing you have to deal with is the ramifications of what other people are going to say about the moves you make. That's the real reason people don't make the sacrifice. There's two main reasons people don't sacrifice. Number one, they don't know the sacrifice is worth it. I promise you, if somebody had drilled into my head, young man, you making all this money in the streets. Young man, you done started your businesses and now you gone legit and you're making a few extra $100 outside your job every month. Young man, now that your business is taking off a little bit, you're making a few $1,000s per month. Make sure that you're doing some of this with this money. Nobody told me, so I didn't know that the sacrifice was worth it. Second reason is when you start telling your friends, listen, don't buy my baby no stroller. I went and found one at the Goodwill for $20. We cleaned it up. It's good size. He's going to be able to grow into it. Don't buy my baby no stroller. Instead, put that cash into his investment account. You got to deal with how people are going to look at you. You got to deal with what people are going to say about you behind your back. You got to deal with how people are going to potentially judge you about the sacrifice that you make. And therefore, you don't make the sacrifice because you don't want to be judged. Are you kidding me? This dude brings the same sandwich and the same cup of fruit for lunch every day. Every time we ask if he want to go out to lunch with us, he says no, and he eats the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for lunch. Somebody want to do that? Because what if you took that peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch every day, but then you calculated the amount of money that you would spend on the you calculate the amount of money that you would spend on lunch. The average person will spend $10 on fast food if they want to have lunch. And if you were doing that 3 days a week, that's $30 per week times 4, $120 per month. If you were not concerned about people's opinion about you not being able to go out to have lunch with them, but you was instead eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for lunch, but you was taking the $10 you would have spent on lunch and you were investing that $120 per month, and you did that for 25 years that you've been working for your company, where would you be? I mean, for kicks and giggles, let me just do that, because y'all got me all riled up. Coach, I think you're already in the Wealth Creation Playbook group. The link is actually in the group, and I'll send it to you directly as well. All right, let's just, for kicks and giggles, guys, what would it look like? Because we're talking generational wealth. We're not talking wealth for me to enjoy. That's another conversation. I'll show you how you can speed this thing up, right? But we're talking generational wealth. This is me not being an entrepreneur. This is me too afraid or not willing to start my own business. This is me being very conservative. I'm just going to stick with the corporate path, and I'm just going to work my corporate job for 30 years, right? What would happen if you, because you're aware of the sacrifice, right? If you're aware of the sacrifice, you know the value of the sacrifice, and you got to a place in your life where you stop giving a flying fart about what people think about you. You got to a place where you realize the value of the sacrifice, and you got to a place in your life where you stop giving a care about what people think about you. And you invested that $120 per month for the whole time you were on your job. Let's just say you had to work 25 years to retire. $120 per month at a 15% rate of return for 25 years. I ate sandwiches. I ate bologna. I ate peanut butter and jelly. I ate peanut butter and crackers. And sometimes I was blessed when they bought too much food for the office meeting and they set the rest of the food out in the cafeteria. That's how I got my fast food, right? If you invested your lunch money, $10, 3 days a week, that's $30 a week, times 4, 30, 60, 90, 120, $120 per month. And you said, hey, I ain't doing nothing else to build my wealth but this. I'm going to enjoy my life as I live now. I'm going to spend, I'm going to enjoy, but I'm going to, come hell or high water, put this 120 into this investment account. $120 per month at 15% rate of return for 25 years grows to $389,223.55. It's a game changer, y'all. But we don't realize the sacrifice, the value in the sacrifice, and we're too concerned about what other people will think about us making the sacrifice. People gonna think I'm broke if I don't never go out and splurge a little money. If I buy, let's do another scenario, because I really want to drive this home, right? Perception and reality is something we got to deal with. I agree. Mentoring is key. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Everybody knows that you can probably, if you took well care of a car, you can probably get 20 years out of a car if you wanted to. If you didn't have any accidents and you took care of a car, you can get 20 years out of a car. So we took and bought us a car brand new. Car note, $500 a month. Car note, $500 a month. So the first 5 years, our $500 went to paying off the car. Now, because you realize the value of sacrifice, and you're in a place in your life where you don't care about what other people think, while everybody is encouraging you to go trade up and get you a new car, right? You're saying, nah, I'm cool. My car runs just fine. And every 3,000 miles, like clockwork, I'm getting the oil change. When they say to change out the air filter, I'm doing all of that because I need to keep this car. You keep the car for 20 years total. The first 15 years, the $500 a month went to the note. But because you understand the value of the sacrifice, because you don't care about what other people think, that you driving a poor looking car, you driving a beat up car, you driving an old hoopty or whatever, you drive that car for an additional 15 years. But what you also did is you took the $500 that was going to the car note. Now, this is money that was already out of your budget. You was used to not having this 500. Now you take this 500 and you put it in your investment account. $500 per month for 15 years, at 15% rate of return for 15 years. $334,253. Yeah, Jason said just buy your car with cash. I'll do you one better than that, Jason. If you got a high enough credit card limit, buy your car with the credit card. I just bought my son a car on the credit card. Right? And that's a shocker because people are like, man, you're supposed to stay out of credit card debt. Listen, man, credit cards, debt, that's a tool. You got to know how to leverage tools. Right? You got to know how to leverage tools. Bought my son a car on a credit card. right? Because I can control the time in which I pay the car back. And then I can use my cash to make other income producing investments, right? So Jason says that's negative equity. That's one way to look at it. But if I took the $5,000 cash, Jason, and bought the car, now I have to accumulate that cash all over again. Right? But if I bought the car with a credit card and then turn around and use my cash to buy an income producing asset, took the income from the asset, paid the credit card back, just a different way to think, right? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying this is just a different way to think, different perspective. It's a different perspective. What's up, Rochella? Without interest with the net return. I don't know. You might be going a little too deep for me, Jason. Right? I'm just saying we got to look at things from every angle, right? As to outweigh the interest on the credit card. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Or the investment play could bring enough cash flow that just flat out pays the car off, period. Cameron, what's going on, my friend? Yeah. But see, I wasn't worried about, or are you familiar with velocity banking, Jason? See, I'm not even worried about interest rates. I'm not worried about credit cards. I'm not worried about debt. Because I understand what my cash flow is. Says Bill Cortez, what's getting you 15% on your investments? That's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, if you're in the Wealth Creation Playbook group, I'm going to be doing that on a private webinar. And the reason I do it privately is because I'm not a licensed financial advisor or a financial educator. So you have to be careful because the alphabet boys will come and try to lock you up for giving away too much game. I ain't gonna lie. So I do that privately, and I'm not telling people what to invest in, but I'm going to a public website and I'm showing you the products and services on that public site. And then you can determine whether or not, after you learn some terminology, if you want to make that investment. Jay said, what I'm saying, if the interest rate on your credit card is 22% and the rate of return is 15%, your net is 7%. Okay, I got you. I got you, Jason. No, the 15% is on investments from long-term investments, right? The cash play would have to be cash flow, not so much just a long-term rate of return. Yeah, but yes, your revenue stream and cash flow will increase. Yeah, that's to me, the focus is more on building cash flow than it is on reducing debt. So if I will use debt, that will increase my cash flow. Some people teach that you take all of your money and you pay off your debts. And I'm saying manage your debts, but also look at your cash flow. If your cash flow, if you can grow your cash flow, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that, right? And then at that point, the car is an asset. Because when I bought the car with a credit card, there's no lien on it. I got clean title. So at that point, the car is actually an asset. It's not a liability. Because I can turn around and sell the car for cash. So anything that you can sell and put money in your pocket, you can quickly liquidate. That's an asset at that point. It's not the liability that a car note brings. Yes, this is Facebook and YouTube Live. So you can always come back and check the replay, and I'll probably do a watch party on it in the morning and just push it out there again, because I really want people to be in the webinar tomorrow night, which is why we need multiple streams of income to give us options like rental income or equity from rental property. Tenants pays the money back via rent. Yes, yes, and yes. I agree, man. I agree. But one of the most underrated investments available to you with the highest return on investment is your own talent, man. Most people are asleep on their own talent. That's why I wrote this book right here, Monetize My Life. Monetize My Life. 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profit. In fact, let me just put the link in there, man. If y'all want to go grab, this is a great bundle for you to grab if you want to learn how to turn your gifts and talents into income. So let's see. bit.ly/live. This bundle is dope. You get the book and you get one of my most popular courses on how to become an influencer that will teach you how to use social media to make money from business. Jason said it's still a depreciating asset because cars lose value. That is true, Jason, until they hit the 20-year mark, and depending on the car, they start regaining or appreciating value. Right? So depending on the car and the mileage on the car could very well also turn around and start appreciating in value too. See, I used to have a car dealership. It was smarter to move a unit at wholesale price faster than at retail. Yeah. And I'm not, and this is, hopefully you don't take it the wrong way, Jace. This is not by all means not an argument, just another perspective, right? Just another perspective is all I'm saying. There's a lot of different ways to play this money game, play it effectively, and play it to win, right? The other thing about leveraging debt that most people won't really understand is I don't pay no taxes on the money I borrow. See, if I had taken my cash and bought the car, not only did I empty my cash reserve, did I spend $5,000, but really, if I made that cash through my job, I really spent about $7,500 because that cash is now after tax. I've already paid taxes of about $2,500 to accumulate the $5,000. So to use the $5,000, I'm now paying after tax dollars to make the purchase. So yeah, we just different perspectives, man, and that's what this build is all about, man. Is are there different ways of looking at things? And in school, in school, we were taught that there was a right and a wrong, right? And so usually this thing just never recognized my fingers. Cortez, the link to the bundle, not in the Facebook. I just put it in there. You should see it coming up here in a second. I just put it in there. I'll copy it and put it in there again. All right. I'll copy it and throw it in there again. All right, there we go. All right, so hopefully you'll get it that time. So just differing perspectives. In school, they taught us right and wrong. You understand? That's what they taught us in school. What's right and what's wrong, and there's no gray. And money, man, there is no right and there is no wrong, and there's a whole lot of gray, right? James says we have to be open to formulas. I love collaborative work with like-minded individuals. Please don't take any challenge or opposite opinion as demeaning or negative, sir. Oh, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. The book I read says iron sharpens iron, right? So I love it. And your perspective might be one that works for people in certain places in their lives. And that's great because all of that stuff works, man. All of it works. Like we say buy a car cash, but sometimes the peace of mind that comes with buying a brand new car is more valuable than to a person than not having the debt, right? So lots of things work for lots of different people in lots of different ways. And I just try to offer different perspectives and different ways to look at things because we hear a Dave Ramsey talk about getting out of credit card debt, but he sure will take your credit card to buy one of his programs, right? He'll tell you you need to snowball that credit card debt down, but if you wanted to buy Financial Peace University, he'll take that credit card, right? We see him talk about building wealth and minimizing your lifestyle, but what is he doing though? And this is not to say that he didn't do the strategies that he teaches, but he's making way more money building wealth way faster, building a business around teaching people this stuff than he did executing this stuff. Does that make sense? Building a business around teaching money principles has gained Dave far more wealth than executing the strategies that he teaches. That's why this book is important, man. Learn how to turn your gifts into talent. Into income. Yeah, charging for his time. He's building a business around teaching the strategies that he executed, but the strategies he executed 25, 30 years ago, he's made way more money in business teaching those strategies than he ever did executing those strategies. Because business is the American way. And people don't like it when I say this, but if you don't have a business in this country, you might as well be a foreigner in your own land. This country was built by business people, for business people, to benefit business people, the people who amass the most wealth, the people that do the most good on the planet with that wealth, believe it or not, are the people who start and run successful businesses. And I know people will challenge me on that. Well, Cortez, wealthy people ain't doing nothing for people, but providing millions and millions and millions of jobs for people. Right? That's what, if they don't give a dime to a single charity, they've provided jobs. and providing jobs, right? Chase is absolutely, you are valuable. Your time is valuable. You need to figure out what that is. Mine is about $86 per hour, right? Define working hard. I think one of the, I don't want you to miss this, Alan. I don't have a problem with you working hard. The key word in the title is if you work hard for every, the key word is every. I work extremely hard for my money. I just don't work hard for every dollar, right? Because I have systems that bring me money. I have investments that bring me money, right? So the key is not necessarily working hard. I don't care what you do with your job, physical labor, whether you sit behind a desk, whether you hardly do anything, or whether you put your body through stress like pro athletes. The key is if you work hard for every dollar, that's the problem. You should work hard for some of the dollars, but every time you get paid, you should be taking some of that money and putting it to work for you. That is the key, Alan. All right. Wealthy people are providing for their family. And so, man, listen, what people got to understand is that wealthy people simply find one or two ways to get paid for one or two things that they already love to do. That's it. And if you have a problem with wealthy people, you'll never be one of them. Your subconscious mind will never allow you to become that which you despise. I want you to think about that for a second. You despise wealthy people. Chances are, because birds of a feather flock together, if you despise wealthy people, chances are everybody you associate with also despise wealthy people. So the moment you say you're going to try to get rich, your subconscious mind says, wait a minute, we despise those people. Everybody that we hang around also despises those people. So if we become one of those people, the people that we love and the people we hang around, they're going to start to despise us. So I'm not going to allow you to get rich. That's what your subconscious mind is doing. You got to come to a place where you understand that we live in a world of abundance. God created everything in abundance. There's no shortage of anything that God created. The only shortage we have is a shortage of the things that man created and man controlled. Right? It says revenue, income, and profits. One man says, I can't afford that. The other man says, how can I afford that? That is the question. You send your mind into a perpetual state of searching for an answer versus shutting it down. When you say, how can I? That's what your mind wants to be fed. And it'll go on a never-ending quest, searching for an answer until you say, I can't. You say, I can't, it stops looking. As long as you're saying, how can I? It's going to go on a never-ending quest to find that solution. All right, guys, it's been about an hour, man. Everyone that is wealthy is not necessarily a part of the elite that are in power who may not have our best interests at heart. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. And that's really the primary reason, guys, that I try to bring you as much of this wealth building information as I can. Am I stupid rich? No. Is my wealth getting there? It's getting there, right? And let me define what that means, because a lot of times people think when I say my wealth is getting there, I must have millions and millions of dollars. That to me ain't what the definition of wealth is. For me, when my non-wage income can take care of all of my expenses with a little left over, I consider myself wealthy because I don't got to get out of bed to pay my bills. My non-wage income that comes in on a monthly basis from my investments in my business, because of the way my businesses are structured in a passive and a residual income way, the money that comes into these entities that requires zero work from me covers all of my bills. Now, what I don't have is financial freedom. So there's wealth, there's financial freedom, and then there's riches. Financial freedom says my non-wage income covers everything, and I got enough money to do whatever, whenever, and not have to check my bank balance. That's financial freedom. So that's what I'm pushing towards, right? I want everyone in my phone doing well. I might need to make a $10,000 phone call. Man, listen, you better know it. You better know it. And that's why I do what I do, because I'm probably going to make some of those $10,000 phone calls real soon. Hey, man, listen, got 100 acres of land over here. I'm planning on building a small city. Can I put you down for a block or two? Got 1,000 acres over here, raw land. It's got a lake. It's got a pond. It's got springs. It's got, 500 acres of some of the best hardwood and pine wood. We're going to build us a little city over there. Can I put you down for a block or two? So you want friends to be able to call and be like, yeah, man, put me down for a block or two. Put me down for 10 blocks. Yeah, how we carving up Main Street? If you buying the acreage, then I know that Main Street is going to be Thornton Valley or something. I know Main Street is going to be Thornton Drive, right? I know Main Street is going to be named after one of your kids or something, but how we splitting that up though? Jason said, look, yeah, that's it. I need to hold that. That's the conversation. Listen, bro, listen. I got something going down, man. And when you really get to that place, Jason, all the people in your phone is just saying how much. Right? They say how much. Now, the small-minded person is thinking, they're saying, how much is it going to cost me? Nah, by this time, we got different types of relationships. They're not saying how much it's going to cost me. They're saying how big we going to win. How much? Hey, bro, I need that. How much? Man, I'm going to double your money. I'm going to triple your money. I'm give you 50% return on this in 90 days. This is a long-term play, man. You're going to get some equity stake in whatever. That's the deal, man. That's the deal. All right, y'all. I was supposed to be building a sales funnel. Y'all done got me talking and fired up about money. Robert said, stop it. I ain't playing, man. Listen. Understand something, man. If you're not hanging around people that's having these kinds of conversations regularly, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I wasn't smiling. I'm dead serious. I'm building that kind of infrastructure for myself. I'm building those kinds of relationships with the people currently in my circle and preparing for the people that I haven't even met yet. Jason, exactly. Phone is popping. Now a few millionaires. I run a small transportation company. That's it, man. That's it. And let me give y'all this nugget and then I'm gonna get out of here. Don't forget, man, you got to be in a wealth creation playbook group if you want to see where we're getting double-digit returns on those investments. There's a link in there for you to register for that event. You want to grab the book and the bundle. So you get the book, you get the influencer course, how to become an influencer course, and you get I think it's a 15-minute brainstorming call with me, right? For one price. So I put that link in there. But now I forgot what I was going to hit y'all with before I left. Right. But nevertheless, man, appreciate you guys for all tuning in. If I think of what I was going to say, then I'll drop that on y'all some other time. It says, and you are part of that network in Austin. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I appreciate that, Jason. Because look, watch this. Every episode, every time I come live, I tell you guys to do two things. And most of you never, ever do it. I say, comment where you're from. And I say, comment the name of your business and your brand or your brand. I always say that every time I come live. Why am I saying that? Because if you listen to Dr. George C. Frazier of the Power Networking Conference, he talks about the truth about networking is not who you know. It's who knows you and what they know about you. Right? See, now I know Jason is like-minded. I know he has a transportation company. Now all I need to know is what city he's in. And if I run across anybody who's looking for somebody to connect with in the transportation industry in that city, I can connect them with Jason. Right? It's not who you know. It's who knows you and what they know about you. Now, and I don't say this to toot my horn, but I be trying to get y'all to understand. There's over 100,000 people that follow this page. You never know who's going to be on the stream, who's going to watch the replay and going to want to connect with you. The only thing I say is just don't post any links. If they want to connect with you, they'll connect with you and you can send them your links directly. But I always ask, comment where you're from. Let me know the name of your business and or your brand so that other people can connect. I have 2 podcasts, working on 2 more, always looking for interesting guests to interview. So when I see what you do, I might say, oh, Gigi, you want to jump on the Cortez Hustle Show and do a podcast interview with me? And let's talk about real estate investing. Now I know that about Gigi. You guys got to take advantage of these platforms, man. If you ain't shouting you out, I don't know who is. Appreciate you. I think Gigi and somebody else said they was going to grab the book. Let me just say my public thank you. I appreciate that. I believe it's going to bless your soul. And make sure that you let me know when you make that purchase so I can send you the link to the calendar event so you can go ahead and book your slot and let's have a conversation about how, if at all, I can help you or any questions you have about the book or the course or whatever. So with that, man, I'm going to get off of here and I'm probably not building that sales funnel tonight. Also, if you guys want to catch me tomorrow morning, man, Sundays at 9, I do something called Righteous Hustle. It's geared towards the Christian entrepreneur and helping Christians overcome their mindset and really get them out of this lack thinking that you got to be poor to be humble. And Christians are afraid of building wealth. And so I do that on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So y'all can meet me back here if y'all want to check that out. Until then, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.